Looking for an evening of laughter, fun, and creativity? Mark your calendars because the Village's Improv Club is bringing the house down with a hilarious improv comedy show. Join us on Saturday, April 5th at 6:30 p.m. at the Old Mill Playhouse for an evening of quick wit, spontaneity, and plenty of surprises. This isn't just a show, it's your show, as audience participation brings the comedy to life. And here's the best part. All proceeds support our scholarship fund for graduating seniors at the Village's Charter High School who dream big in the performing arts. Tickets are only $14.50, and you can grab yours now at my.allevents.in/improv4525. So bring your family, bring your friends, and let's share the joy of improv together. Don't miss it. That's Saturday, April 5th, 6:30 p.m. at the Old Mill Playhouse. The Village's Improv Club, where laughter takes the spotlight. Get your tickets today.
Welcome to the Open Forum in the Villages, Florida. In this show, we talk to leaders of clubs and interesting folks who live here in the Villages to get perspectives of what is happening here in the Villages, Florida. We are a listener-supported podcast. There will be shout-outs for supporters in episodes.
This is Mike Roth. I wanted to tell all of my listeners about my new podcasting course, which is coming up on February 13th, 20th, and 27th through the Villages Enrichment Academy. The course will be held at the Rohan Recreation Center, and the course will take a total podcasting beginner and turn you into someone who knows how to put together a good podcast. We're going to start with the concepts of a podcast and the way to lay out a successful strategy to begin. In the second week, we're going to take you through recording and editing a podcast. And in the third week, one of the things we're going to talk about is how to monetize your podcast if that's what your goal is. Although there are many different goals in creating a podcast. If anyone wants to talk to me about what's in the course and whether or not they should take it, feel free to reach out to me at mike@rothvoice.com. If you've already decided that you want to register for the Podcasting 101 class for beginners, there are 3 easy ways to register. The first way is you can register online on that site, theenrichmentacademy.org. The second way to register is in person, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at any one of your regional recreation centers. It's also available on Saturdays and Sundays from 8:30 a.m. to noon at La Hacienda, Lake Neona, Eisenhower, Everglades, and Rohan Recreation Center. And of course, we can always do it the old-fashioned way by mailing in a Enrichment Academy form to the Enrichment Academy offices at 984 Old Mill Run in the Villages. Now, let's go back to our show. Listeners, I'm thrilled to share with you this podcast, which is my passion project for you. This podcast brings you knowledge, inspiration, and a lot of things that people need to know about the Villages and the people living here. Be sure to hit the follow button to get the newest episode each week. Creating this podcast is a labor of love, even though it demands more time I can easily spare. Now, here's where you come in. You can help us keep the podcast alive and thriving. How? By becoming a supporter. The easy way for you to support us is to visit our podcast webpage, openforuminthevillagesflorida.com, and click on the supporter button at the top of the page, or the purple supporter box. Even a small donation of $3 to $10 a month makes a big difference, and you can cancel your subscription at any time. Your support means the world to us. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep those headphones on. I hope everyone enjoys today's show. I have with me today a guest about cooking, Ricki McKenna. Ricki, you've written, have a talk entitled, Why Cooking for One is not a waste of time. Here in the villages, we have a lot of seniors who are single, cooking for what is a regular thing. What's your first recommendation for a person who's single?
Don't be afraid.
Just to do cooking.
Well, don't be afraid of food. And don't be afraid to choose your own food. Don't worry about making it wonderful. Just feed yourself. The whole idea is to get yourself fed with good food, feed yourself well, take care of yourself because you've only got the one body. Mine's been hanging around for 80 years. So I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. And to make whatever you want, don't fear it. Just have a good time with it. You don't have to prepare a gourmet meal. You can take some cottage cheese or take some yogurt, add some fruit. If you want to add a piece of fish or a piece of chicken, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And what I'd find is that people, they just don't want to bother.
If I had to do it myself, I'd spend the first 6 months buying frozen food.
Better than packages, because frozen food is the next one under fresh that I recommend. And I've been in this position as a certified nutritionist since 1999, working with seniors in residences where they have meal choices, which are so high in carbs, and then they wonder why everybody in the place is developing type 2 diabetes, which really gripes my butt because that's not necessary.
We have a funny expression down here in the villages that both the men and the women look like they're pregnant. And a lot of people come down with diabetes. It's almost an epidemic.
It is an epidemic. I do a lot of research in communicating with people in the food industry. The food industry is out to feed us for profit. It's profit over people, frankly. And I'm not afraid of saying it on the air because I know that's what happens. And my background as a chef, as well as a nutritionist, gives me a new dimension to work with. I can show you how to cook. I can show you how to create meals from nothing. My favorite thing is when I started dating my fiance, which was 5 years ago. I came over to visit him. He said, "There's nothing in the refrigerator. We need to go out." I said, "Let me take a look." I do love to cook. I've been cooking since I was little. My kids cook. My late husband cooked. I presented him with what he called a gourmet meal, because there was stuff in his refrigerator, but he had no idea how to prepare anything, which a lot of men don't, but a lot of women don't either.
I'll be the first to admit I haven't spent a lot of time learning how to cook very many things. I did learn how to make extremely good garlic bread.
What'd you put it with?
First, you got to get a good Italian bread. You slice it on. Then you melt butter with a lot of garlic and broil it until it's a little bit golden. It's sizzling.
Or you could sprinkle a little parsley on it.
You think of that.
Oh, yeah. What's funny? I didn't even think of that from people so often. And that's what made me start doing pandemic cooking in March of 2020 on Zoom. I did it because people weren't getting together physically anymore. It morphed into what I now call Ricki's Kitchen, which is, if you look carefully here, it says food for thought. It's not just food. My book, which I will happily show you, Yes, You Can Eat Well and Eat Right. And that doesn't mean you have to prepare a gourmet meal all the time. And the thing about my book is it's not just a cookbook. There are 19 foods in there. And at the end of the information about each food, there's a recipe that utilizes the food. And there's also some blank pages. So if anybody's ever used a cookbook, this is unusual because there aren't any. And they're there for a reason. Because if you have food allergies or a desire for more garlic in your bread than it actually calls for, or whatever it is, a different spice, you want to change the recipe a little bit and make it yours, that's why the blank pages are there.
Is that book available on Amazon? Or
Yes, You Can Eat Well and Eat Right. But if you want the spiral version, which makes a lot of sense because as one of the buyers in a store where it's being sold in Houston said, you don't have to keep it open with soup cans to use it.
that makes a lot of sense for a cookbook.
Oh, yeah. What's interesting, I think it's the only spiral-bound cookbook on their shelves. Had a lot of success with that. I will ship it in the mail. It's 32 on my website. It's 32 on Amazon, but the one on Amazon is a paperback. For the same amount of money, go to rickiskitchen.net and buy the book.
What is your favorite recipe with Brussels sprouts?
I'm so glad you asked that, because when I was a kid, I hated Brussels.
It's one of the vegetables that I love.
I absolutely love them now because you take the fresh ones, wash them, cut them in half, put them on a rimmed cookie sheet. I spray them with a garlic spray and an olive oil spray. Sprinkle garlic, a little bit of salt, and maybe some other spice that you like. I sometimes use ginger.
So you cut them in half?
Yeah, cut them in half lengthwise.
They cook face up or face down?
First, they cook face down, okay, because you're putting them in, you're baking them. So they will brown on that side, and then flip them over after about 10 or 12 minutes and cook them on the other side. If you're not sure if they're done, taste one, or just turn the oven off, keep it closed, and let them sit for another 10 minutes. They don't get overdone. They just get done to the point where they're still juicy, and all the spices soak in, and the olive oil gives them a little bit of pizzazz as well. And it's good for your joints.
That's a great vegetable.
Wonderful vegetable. It has the fiber that most seniors don't get. And one of my other recommendations is to scrub, don't peel, especially when you're using things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, or even beets, turnips.
Not to scrape them off. No, burn on.
Scrub.
them.
Sponges have a side that's for
Rough edge.
Actually, carrots, you can scrape them and still get the good nutrition. That's one of the few vegetables. But if you take a turnip or a beet, scrub the daylights out of it and then bake it or roast it or whatever you want to do with it.
If the senior who's living alone wants to make something that's a high protein meal, amen,
Are we talking about keto or something here?
just flavorful.
I take chicken thighs most of the time, or you can take a breast and slice it or cut it bite-sized.
Yeah.
Put it in a pan with lemon pepper. Most lemon pepper comes with salt. So if you're using low salt, which sometimes I believe in, it depends on the individual, bake or roast it. Put a little bit of butter or olive oil with it. Olive oil or avocado oil can be sprayed to give things a little bit of juiciness. Put that in the oven, or you can even do it in a skillet. Just plain lemon pepper. You'll be amazed what it does.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got chicken in the refrigerator right now marinating in lemon pepper.
Is that a spice you bought?
You can find that in most grocery stores. Piggly Wiggly or any of those will have it.
Really?
My
Oh.
parents lived in Inverary for about 25 years. So I'm familiar with Florida and some of the places down there.
We're in the villages, and our podcast is heard all over Central, as well as
Great.
people who are coming down to the villages for a lifestyle trip to find out about it. Came down here, and we have a lot of snowbirds in the summer season. Probably 5% of the villages is vacant, and the traffic is wonderful.
Unlike other places with traffic.
Yeah, we have a lot of traffic circles here. What's your opinion of some of the snack foods like potato chips, pretzels, and that kind of stuff?
You know what Hazarai means?
Yes.
Do I need to say more?
Okay.
No, seriously.
Rest of them, and didn't know you were a member of the tribe.
I am a member of the tribe. What's funny is potato chips and pretzels have their place. You can get chips made from sweet potatoes, which are a lot better for you. There are also some made from cassava, which is another vegetable, which are pretty crunchy and good.
Yeah. I think the ones made out of banana.
Banana chips are different. That's
lean.
plantains. Yeah. They're actually not too bad for you. There's some good nutrition in there. Okay. What I really would like to see is people think about crunchy vegetables for snacks that you can take with you if you have little baggies. Just
like raw onions.
if you're brave enough, go.
Yeah, I like onions.
I have a sweet potato salad you probably love. It's sweet potatoes, raw onions, the red onion, and I use a little bit of roasted pumpkin seeds. Recipes in my book. I think it's page 49.
How many recipes are in the cookbook?
There are 19 vegetables and fruits. There's about 30-something recipes. It's not just the recipes, though. I want people to understand, because there's so much misinformation about nutrition out there and about foods. Food is medicine. Food can help you heal. I'm not saying get off your medicine and eat Brussels sprouts or broccoli. What I'm saying is consult with your physician. Look at what you're eating very carefully. Read labels. That's in neon lights and letters. Read the labels if you're buying packaged foods, please. And if you don't understand what's in it, leave it there.
Last question. A lot of my patients are worried about Alzheimer's or dementia here. And one of the big recommendations from Dr. Craig Curtis is what's called MIND diet. MIND, M-I-N-D, the extreme form of the Mediterranean diet, okay, to help your brain. It doesn't look like you have very much information about the MIND diet.
There's information in my book about that.
Oh,
Not particularly calling it the MIND diet. Diet to me is anything you put in your mouth. What I recommend is, first of all, what are your individual likes and dislikes? Within those parameters can fit the good healthful stuff, like vegetables and fruits. For those who are either diabetic or pre-diabetic, we work more towards the vegetables and non-starchy vegetables, as well as things like chicken and fish first. Red meats, not as much, but it's very important to get those combinations of things that digest easily. Of course, you've heard all about the microbiome, I'm sure, digestive system. If it's not working properly, I recommend a regimen that helps cleanse the liver and the kidneys. The liver's your filter. It's like the oil filter in your car. Right. If that's not clean, you got a problem. Right. When I consult with people, it's based on their needs. And so we work up menus and really helping them get the skill of preparing things for themselves. It is a skill, but it doesn't have to be a chore. Eating right for healing yourself is what I advocate. I have a membership site. If you're interested, it's called Patreon, Patreon.com. And then it's /Ricky's Kitchen. Ricky'sKitchen.net is my website, and you'll find information there. There's also a weekly menu on your time. I hold them at 11 o'clock Central Time, which is an hour earlier than you are. I have a lot of fun. They're live. I had a fire in the oven one time. That was interesting. On camera.
Okay, on fire extinguisher.
Don't use a fire extinguisher on your oven. You can blow up the whole thing.
That's a tiny little fire.
The flames were coming out from the bottom of the oven, and I said, oops, excuse me. I went over there, opened it up, and I grabbed a towel on the way over, and I smothered it.
We got lucky.
Yeah, and you can buy those. There's some new things out on the market now, as a matter of fact. I think Amazon has them. I think they're called fire blankets, and they're better than an extinguisher.
Teflon cuts the air off the fire.
You want to smother it.
So one last question before we go. What do you think of using a barbecue outside to cook most of your food as opposed to using the stove?
As long as you're not charcoaling it.
No, get barbecue.
That's barbecue. Okay, so you can control the temperatures then.
Oh, yes.
That's good. You can also use a pan on a barbecue like that. Saute. If you don't want the heat in the house, then go outside.
Good.
And I do individual lessons as well. And I recommend you go for the book because it's fun. I just had one of my clients and a dear friend call me today and say, I read your whole cookbook. It's not just a cookbook.
I'll have to consult with my wife to see if she wants another cookbook.
It's not a cookbook.
Thanks for joining us on Open Forum in the Villages.
Thank you, Mike. Be well.
Dr. Curtis, what can someone do if they know that they have Alzheimer's that runs in?
So there's a lot that they can do. So published actually in the Journal of the American Medical Association in February of 2024, so this month. This was a study done primarily at Rush University in Chicago, looking at those with brain amyloid. So those people that already have amyloid, can a healthy lifestyle protect them from developing dementia? And the answer was yes, by following these five healthy habits that were tracked. And those were they did not smoke, they did moderate exercise for at least 150 minutes a week. They kept their alcohol consumption to a minimum, approximately 1 to 2 drinks a day, and they regularly stimulated their brain by reading, going to museums, etc. And the final category was how well they followed the MIND diet, or a Mediterranean type diet. And they used autopsies They actually used approximately 530 autopsies to prove that those that followed those healthy lifestyle habits or had those healthy lifestyle habits actually had less amyloid. It correlated. Those had less amyloid in their brain.
With over 20 years of experience studying brain health, Dr. Curtis's goal is to educate the Villages community on how to live a longer, healthier life. To learn more, visit his website, craigcurtismd.com, or call 352-500-5252 to attend a free seminar.
Remember, our next episode will be released next Friday at 9 a.m. Should you want to become a major supporter of the show or have questions, please contact us at mike@rothvoice.com. This is a shout-out for supporters Gerald Long, Tweet Coleman, Ed Williams, Dwayne Romich, Paul Sorgen, Kathy Loving, and Dr. Craig Curtis at K2 in the Villages. We will be hearing more from Dr. Curtis with short Alzheimer's tips each week. If you know someone who should be on the show, contact us at mike@rothvoice.com. The way our show grows is with your help. Text your friends about this show if you enjoyed listening, or just tell your friends about the show. We thank everyone for listening to the show. The content of the show is copyrighted by Roth Voice 2025. All rights reserved.